Welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am so excited to have a conversation with writer, actress, producer, and author Kari Lizer. Kari has worked on several shows, including one of my all time favorites, Will and Grace. Kari also created another one of my favorite shows, The New Adventures of Old Christine. Thank you so much for being on my show. I can't tell you how excited I am to be talking with you.
Good. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love your glasses, by the way.
Oh, thanks. They're my reading glasses, so you're a little blurry to me, but it's yeah, one or the other with me. So, but thank you. I appreciate it. I can't
Yeah,
tell what I look like at all, so I'm glad you tell me it looks okay.
yeah, I think they're great.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, so what lessons from your childhood have most impacted your worldview?
Lessons from my childhood. Well, I mean, I think the biggest one that stuck with me is that finding the funny in even dark and painful situations served me very well. Um, and I think that continues to serve me well to figure out a way to laugh at things, even when they're troubling and difficult and hard. I think it always helps to take the edge off a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. That my family and I, yeah, have a very warped sense of humor because my mom taught me and my sister when we were really young. There's always something good and that to be found in any situation, always something to like smile about, or and also always something funny about
Yeah.
really any situation. So we have um a very warped sense of humor.
I come from a similar family, yeah, very dark sense of humor and served us all pretty well.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so I rewatch the New Adventures of Old Christine all the time. Um, how did the idea for the show come about?
A lot of it came from I really like to work from the inside out. So I find that when I start with something that's real and true for me, and then expand it into things that may or may not be real or true, they don't necessarily have to be autobiographical all the way through. But New Adventures of Old Christine, I was recently divorced. I was trying very hard to. I thought it was my fantasy was that it was possible to have a great relationship with my ex-husband, for things not to change for my kids, for us to just say, look, we're not great married, but we're still parents and we can be best friends. And in real life it didn't work out quite as well, as my fantasy didn't quite, but I was able to sort of process it in my writing and write the relationship that I wished I'd had, and the dynamics that I sort of longed to have in terms of a friendly relationship with an ex. So that's really where it started, and then of course it blossomed from there into other things.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah, my mom introduced me and my sister to the show during COVID, during lockdown. Um, and it just became immediately became one of my favorites and one of my comfort shows. So I go back to it all the time.
Thank your mom for me.
I will. Yeah. Yeah, I reference the New Adventures of Old Christine and Will and Grace all the time. Like those are two shows that I just quote constantly.
They're fun.
So, yeah. Um, do you have a favorite line of dialogue from any of the shows you've created or worked on?
Oh boy, I don't think I have a favorite line. I mean, I don't remember them as well as you might think I would. Other people bring them to me and I say, oh yeah, or I don't remember even writing that. So now there's so many, it's sort of a blur, but so not a specific line, I don't think, that I can think of off the top of my head. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any irrational fears?
Yes. Do I have? I'm a little superstitious. And I attach sort of superstitions to strange things. One time, a hair on my arm grew longer than the other hairs, and I decided that it was a lucky hair, and that if I pulled it out, that my luck would stop. I don't know why I thought that, but I mean, I was a grown up. I wasn't a child, and so I left that hair there for a long time, and I would play with it, and it's gone now. I don't know what happened to it, but that I have to honk my horn every time I go through a tunnel because I think something bad will happen to my children. I knock on wood. I have to. So I'm a little superstitious. I think that that qualifies as a little irrational, probably.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I understand that. Um, so what has been the biggest obstacle you've overcome?
Um, well, let's see. I think that I started out as an actress, not a writer, and because I was an actor early on when I was a teenager, and I already knew what I wanted to do. I didn't go to college. I just thought I'm good to go. I know exactly what I want to do. I don't need to um, do anything about an education. And so when my acting career dried up, and I was 30 years old, and I hadn't really prepared myself to do anything else. I had no other skills. I didn't. I that was a real obstacle. That was really a panic moment of I don't know where to go from here. And honestly, I didn't approach it very rationally. I went to a psychic, and she said to me, if you continue to act, you'll be moderately successful. But if you write, you'll be successful beyond your wildest dreams. And I was really like, oh, right, that seems hard. I mean, I'd never even thought about it, and it's not something I did. It's not something that I aspired to. And so, but I thought, well, I don't know what else to do. I was, really in trouble, like declaring bankruptcy and losing my house and all of these other things. And I wrote a play, and gave it to a friend of mine to read and say, is it terrible? And he liked it. And he very generously put it up in a theater. I acted in it. I was still holding on to my acting career. I thought, well, I'll act in this and then I'll get acting jobs and I can put this writing thing aside. But that's not what happened. And so I started getting opportunities. And truthfully, I just started sort of going through the doors that were open instead of knocking on all the closed doors, which is what I was doing for a few years. Like, but I want to be an actress, even though it wasn't working out for me. And so I started just sort of saying, okay, I guess I'll just take the opportunities that are presenting themselves. And so that's what I did, even though I resisted for a while. But it was challenging and it was a little bit scary, and it worked out well. And I'm really grateful and lucky.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. So what three words best describe you?
Hmm. Um, Probably stubborn. Uh, um, I don't know. Stubborn, smart, and generous, I would say.
Oh, I love those. Yeah. Um, so what, no matter how many times you see it, always takes your breath away?
I split my time between Los Angeles and Vermont, and when I'm in Vermont, every time I sort of take in the nature there and the beauty of it, I really am wowed every time. I mean, even just waking up in the morning, I'm a real nature person. I feel like I belong in the country, even though I've spent most of my life living in a big city. So that never fails to inspire me and make take my breath away for sure.
Oh, wow, I love that. So, if you had to pick any character in a book, movie, or TV show who is most similar to you, who would you choose and why?
I remember watching. This is an old movie. You might not even know it because you're young. Called Broadcast News. Um, Holly Hunter was in it, and she played this just type A, um, overly emotional news person who was making bad decisions and things. And I watched that movie over and over again. I felt like somebody had sort of seen me in my private moments when I watched that character. It felt very, very near and dear to my heart for sure.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love just having those characters that you can just relate to and see so much of yourself in.
I do think, I mean, in writing, I had a writing teacher when I was writing my book and I was writing all these personal essays, and it felt very sort of self-indulgent to be writing all these things just about myself, these sort of autobiographical essays and things. And I would get sort of self-conscious about it and be like, nobody wants to hear it. Who wants to read this about me? And I remember her saying to me, and she was a great teacher, and she said to me that people read books or watch TV shows or movies or things not to learn about you, me, but to learn about themselves through what you're writing. And so that sort of opened the door for me of just like, oh, people want to read this and say, oh, that's how I feel, or that happens to me sometimes, or I relate to that. So once I took it away from myself and stopped feeling weird for sharing all my personal and just all of my stuff, it felt like sharing my journal, and realized that it was for other people to sort of look at and see where we connected, where those lines crossed. It freed me up to write more and feel better about doing it for sure.
Oh, wow, I love that. Yeah. So I am pop culture obsessed and I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Well, this is going to be a very boring answer, Maya, but I can't stop watching the holiday baking championships. So I
Yeah.
don't know why. I think it's just because it's just pure comforting. Like there's nothing, it doesn't challenge my brain. And so, we're in challenging times right now. And so I think that, um, I used to be sort of a big news junkie and watch news all the time. And I just felt like that just wasn't doing great things for my mental health and my soul and my spirit. And so sometimes I just tune out by watching a familiar, easy, just doesn't challenge me, doesn't challenge my brain kind of thing sometimes. And then there are comedies, and my son and I watch, because I hadn't seen it, and it's not a new show, but I hadn't seen The Last Man on Earth. What is it called? Last Man on Earth, Will Forte's show. And I hadn't seen it. So my son said, "Oh, it's really funny." And he and I watched it from the beginning, and that became my obsession for a little bit. But I'll usually just turn to something sort of familiar and easy, and you know, not too dark and not too challenging.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I have a list of go-to comfort shows and movies, and like The New Adventures of Old Christine is one of them. I can just turn that on and immediately feel better because each episode just makes me cry. I'm laughing so hard.
Well, good. That's a nice thing. Now, I feel that way about some of the old comedies too. Like I can turn on Everybody Loves Raymond, and
Um,
it just feels like I'm, home with a friend. And yeah, same kind of thing. Seinfeld feels the same way to me. The Office,
yeah,
those really just sort of straight ahead comedies do
yeah.
are very nice. I think nice to rely on. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I actually when my sister and I were seniors in high school, our school had this thing where like every senior got like a pair of painter pants and could decorate them
Uh-huh.
however they wanted. So my sister and I had so much fun decorating. And then I remember I put on them this one line from the New Adventures of Old Christine that whenever I think of, so many lines that whenever I think of, I just can't stop laughing. But when Eric McCormack's character is texting back, so when Max is texting back Mr. Harris for Christine and
Uh-huh.
ends the text writing XXOOLOL USA, I put that on the pair on my pair of painter's pants because it's like one of my favorite lines ever.
He was so much fun. Yeah, to have her. He was great. He and Julio had just spectacular chemistry, those two.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then I remember also when I first watched that, I started ending like every one of my texts that way. I'm like, I'm gonna end them like this from now on. And so now I've started doing that with my best friend when I went back and rewatched that. I'm like, I'm gonna bring this back. So now I just end every text.
Well, that's amazing.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Um, so, if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Um, it would it might just say leave me alone.
Oh, I need that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very I mean, I like a lot of alone time. I really, I have a sort of a low threshold when it comes to socializing, and I like it, and I have great friends and I like people, but I need about 80% alone time to 20% social time. So, and a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people really like. I'm in Los Angeles now. I've been in Vermont, so and I'm only here for 2 weeks. So I have a lot of friends here. They're like, "Oh, you're here. While you're here, I need to see you." And my tank is empty already from just because I'm just not used to it. And when I go to Vermont, I have no one. I'm just alone. I have my horses and my dogs, and I just putter around. And um, so I think, yeah, leave me alone. No offense, but leave me alone. Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
one.
I love that. I need that one.
Good. I'll make a few up for us and some t-shirts. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you. We can start our own club.
And I'm sure we're not alone with that either. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I am the same way, so I totally understand that.
yeah, good. Yes.
Yeah. Um, so what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Um, boy. Oh, my life has been sort of episodic as opposed to having sort of a, a through line, so I don't know what kind of a movie. I think I might be more of a TV show in there than a movie because it's that I really or a book that has different chapters because I really have just been sort of it's changed. I've had different groups of people. There's not been really a through line. Even when I was a kid, we moved every year, so I didn't have friends from like people have friends from elementary school and I don't have that, so it feels like I've had just these episodes that are very different and they involve very different people. And also when you work on TV shows you get so close to those people you're working with, and then most of the time when you're not on that TV show and you move on to your next one, you do sort of lose touch with those people and you bond with your next group of people. I mean, there's some people that I'll always be friendly with and happy to see, but I don't see them really. So it's there are chapters that are very different that involve different people and have different sort of themes to them for sure. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I like that answer. Yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted my life story to be both a musical and a rom-com. So that's like my dream.
No, I get that. I understand that. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you had the opportunity to put a message on a billboard for everyone to see, what would that message be?
I don't, can I curse on this on your
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I would just, I think, don't be an asshole. I would put, you know, just don't be
Oh,
an
yeah.
asshole. I mean, I think that's really all I want to say to everybody all the time. You know, I just
Yeah.
think people behave so badly sometimes, and just don't be an asshole. Be nice.
Yeah. I love that. I would really like to see that billboard.
Yeah, I mean, we all need it sometimes, myself
Yeah.
included. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is a great message to have. Yeah. Um, so what is your go-to comfort show or movie when you just want to block out the world?
Well, this isn't going to sound very comforting, but Law and Order SVU, because I've seen it. Well, I'm one of those, you know, people. It's not very original, but one of those people that I love. I like true crime podcasts and things like that. And I drive across the country every year. I drive to Vermont because I have to bring my dog. So I have a long, like a 7 day drive there and back every year. And so I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts. But so Law and Order SVU, I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just that it's sort of formulaic and you know what's going to happen and who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. I don't something about it feels comforting to me and feels like somebody's in charge. I don't know. There's something about it that just soothes me. My daughter's the same way. She picked that up for me too. So something about it, yeah, soothes us.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only seen a couple episodes of Law and Order SVU, but I I don't there I get it. I love the characters. I love
Yeah,
Elizabeth Benson. I think she's incredible.
she's the best.
And so I get that.
Yeah, it's dark. I mean, it is definitely dark, and there's
Yeah,
weirdness, but it's not about that for me. It is definitely the characters. It's Mariska Hargitay and what's it, Chris Maloney and
yeah,
Ice T and just all Richard Belzer and just all of I like those people, and so
yeah.
the crimes are sort of secondary for me.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah. Yeah, I have shows that are you know, darker but are like such a comfort for me,
Yeah,
even
I
though
don't know
they're
why that happens, but yeah, it does for
yeah,
me. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Um, so, um, is there a show or movie that you just find yourself quoting all the time?
I am not one of those people that remembers lines. I'm not, you know, I know there are people like that all around me that things stick in them. It's just not how my brain works. I don't. When I was married to an actor that was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and he was very famous for that movie. And people would come up all the time and quote lines, and I had no idea what they were talking about. Like really, all the time. Like it's just not. I don't even remember the plots of movies really. You know, I see it or books, like I read it or I see it and it sort of just immediately doesn't take up space in my head anymore. I sort of discard a little bit. So that's I'm not that person that remembers that or even can call up the plot of a movie or an actor that was in a movie or something. It's just I don't have that kind of file folder in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that. My brain is mostly filled with show and movie
Yeah,
quotes
I
and
know. Yes,
references.
my daughter is too. My daughter, very similar. She's a sort of yeah. She's my reference book for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I'm with my family or anyone actually, it's just any conversation. I can relate back to. I find some way to relate back to like a scene in a show or something. Like a lot of it is the New Adventures of Old Christine. I'm like, this makes me think of that scene. That so
Yeah, no, I know it's that. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people. I know people like that, and I'm always it's just so not the way I don't know. My brain just doesn't hold on to that kind of stuff. I don't know what it does hold on to, but not that. So, but my daughter's the same way. She's all things go back to television. When she wrote her essay when she was applying to colleges, her essay was about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and how and like I don't know, some analogy to life and learning and but she can do that same in the same way, like sort of just bring up and things always come back to TV shows or movies or characters or books or yeah. So
yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, what her essay was about. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, she was devoted to that show for a while.
Yeah, I love that. I definitely have those shows.
You're a super fan. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I love inspiring and motivational quotes. And this week, the one that spoke to me is you're a work of art. Not everyone will understand you, but the ones who do will never forget about you. Is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
This isn't lately, but there was a quote that I had, we had a dry erase board in the writer's room always. And there was a quote that said, and I'm not going to get this exact, so forgive me. And I don't know who said it, but besides that, it said, I will not be intoxicated by praise or deflated by criticism. And it felt really important, especially in this show business world, because it reminded me that I couldn't take, or one shouldn't take, praise any more seriously than they do people's criticism of you. Like the praise is equally false. Like just keep your own counsel. Like do the thing that you feel is the right thing to do, and don't chase after other people's praise or let them destroy you with criticism, because both are always going to happen, and both are not your business, sort of. Your business is to just do your thing, and the people that get it, and the people that don't. And that stuck with me a lot, because it makes a lot of sense to me that in particular, not to get carried away by false praise or by people who are sort of stroking you and kissing your butt, at one moment, because it turns and it goes the other way. So you can't really rely on either of those things, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I knew who said it, but thank you to whoever did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great quote. I love that one. Well, that was my final question for you. I've had so much fun talking with you. Thank you so much for joining me. You've made my day.
Oh, same here. Thanks, Maya. You did the same. It was really nice to talk to you.
You too. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Um and yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day.
So,
Thank you. And that's a wrap on today's edition of the latest with Maya.